Now, we're going to have a very important person up here delivering an incredibly important address. Her industry, actually her ministry is in charge of the industry that makes our economy move. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, shall we invite to the stage Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Shall we all stand as we invite her to deliver her address?
Thank you. Please sit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, Chairperson of the Advisory Council, Africa Prosperity Network, Mr. Gabi Asare-Okyere-Darko, Executive Chairman, Africa Prosperity Network, Your Excellency, Dr. Monique, former Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Amni, President of Africa Business Council, Honorable Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka, Minister of Interior, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, Ms. Samantha, Chief Executive Officer of the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Diplomatic Corps, captains of industry, friends from the media, good morning. It is a great honor to address the 2026 Africa Prosperity Dialogues here in Accra, the home of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, and a symbol of Africa's shared ambition for integration and transformation. I commend the Africa Prosperity Network for convening this timely dialogue under the theme, Empowering SMEs, Women and Youth in Africa's Single Market, Innovate, Collaborate, Trade. This theme speaks directly to the future we seek under Agenda 2063, an Africa where growth is inclusive, industrialized, and driven by its own people. Distinguished guests, since the commencement of the trading under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in January 2021, Africa has made steady progress, with close to 50 ratifications, expanding participation in guided trade initiative, and the adoption of the Protocol on Women and Youth in Trade. We are witnessing the emergence of a rules-based framework that places inclusion at the center of continental trade. This protocol is a binding commitment to remove structural barriers and expand access to finance, skills, digital trade, and regional value chains. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to mention that Ghana, under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is translating ambition of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area into concrete action. The country has embarked on an ambitious path to strengthen value addition, drive industrial growth, and expand export capacity, with women's empowerment integrated across all pillars. Our industrial policy and trade intervention have been refocused to close gaps and accelerate progress. Through the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, working closely with Ghana Enterprises Agency and other key partners, we are strengthening MSMEs as engines of value addition, export growth, and job creation. This focus is deliberate. MSMEs account for over 90% of businesses and the majority of employment across Africa. In Ghana, women lead nearly half of MSMEs, whilst Africa's youth population represents an unparalleled source of innovation and productivity. Empowering these groups is an economic imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, in Ghana and across Africa, raw commodities such as cocoa, shea nuts, cashew, and honey hold significant untapped potential for economic transformation. Our government aligns with the Global Value Chain Development Report 2025. The report highlights the need for resilient and sustainable global chain and opportunity for Africa to integrate into technology-intensive supply chains. It must also leverage its abundant natural resources. So for Ghana, this means moving beyond exporting commodities largely in raw form towards higher value-adding processing mechanisms. However, across many industries, installed processing capacity remains underutilized due to supply constraints and weak linkages between agriculture and industry. This has informed the transformation and expansion of my ministry's mandate to include agribusiness, as well as implementation of the Feed the Industry program. The program seeks to address raw material supply challenges by ensuring a reliable and sustainable flow of quality inputs to industry. These efforts are intended to create jobs, increase incomes, and strengthen economic resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also advancing gender equity and inclusive growth by deliberately integrating women into trade, agribusiness, and industrial value chains, with a strong emphasis on agro-processing and export readiness. This strategy recognizes women's economic empowerment as a vital driver of industrialization and competitiveness under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Recent targeted interventions have boosted participation of women, youth, disability-led enterprises in cross-border and export trade. We have sensitized over 2,800 businesses on procedures and market access. We have also delivered specialized export readiness support through partnership with international organizations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, nationwide enterprise development programs have equipped more than 155,000 entrepreneurs with skills. We have provided startup kits for over 6,000 and improved finance access to mainly women and youth-led MSMEs. To amplify these impacts, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has activated grants and financing mechanisms under the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, backed by the World Bank, to spur firm upgrading and private investment. Excellencies, complementing enterprise support, Ghana industrial strategy prioritized value addition and technology-enabled growth in commodities like cocoa, shea, cashew, and honey, addressing utilization gaps through innovation, market access, and digital solutions. Women-led enterprises across Ghana and Africa are already leading by example, transforming local resources into high-quality, branded exports that generate employment, elevate incomes, and enhance resilience. Ghana remains firmly committed to investing in digital skills, inclusive innovation, and regional value chains, ensuring women and youth remain central in Africa's trade and industrial transformation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to fully utilize this potential, 4 priorities are essential. Firstly, full operationalization of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, including implementation of rules of origin and expansion of the Guided Trade Initiative. Also, there must be investment in digital infrastructure, energy, transport, and payment systems to reduce trade costs and non-tariff barriers. What is more, innovative financing solutions that move beyond collateral-based lending and unlock capital for women and youth enterprises. We must be deliberate about this effort. Finally, strong public, private, and cross-border partnership to scale regional value chains and industrial ecosystem. However, challenges remain. Financing gaps, skills mismatch, infrastructure deficits, and barriers disproportionately affecting women and youth. That notwithstanding, as a government, we are committed to accelerating protocol ratification, implementation, scaling export readiness programs, investing in digital infrastructure, and fostering inclusive industrialization through policies that prioritize SMEs, women, and then youth. Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let us leave Accra with concrete commitments. Invest in women and youth-led SMEs, prioritize value addition in agribusiness and industry, using AI and digital tools, remove remaining barriers through infrastructure upgrades, as the CEO of McDan has already elaborated, and collaborate across borders via the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and global forums like the SME Ministerial. Together, we will build a single Africa market where SMEs, women and youth drive sustainable prosperity, job creation, and structural transformation. I look forward to our deliberation and to partnership that will define Africa's future. God bless you and God bless Africa. I thank you for your kind attention.
You can do better. A bigger round of applause.